Alright, so what I want to do today is work with you on checkpoint 6.3.2 and help you figure out how to work through some of those problems. For this checkpoint, what we're doing is we're using similar triangles to set up ratios. So the way I like to think about these, is I like to think about the fact that we have different triangles going on here. So we sort of have this red triangle. If I think about this red triangle, I have a larger side and the smaller side h. So I can set up a ratio of small over large, which would be h over 12. Then I want to go, and there's another triangle happening there, and they have a similar relationship. So I can set that up for the blue triangle on the other side. This time this 6 is clearly the smaller side, and this h will be my larger side. So keep that ratio consistent. The small should be on top, so this time 6 is on top, and now h is on bottom. And now we just cross multiply. When you do h times h, that'll leave you with h squared, not 2h. Please make sure you're careful and make sure it's a power. Okay? And then we want to multiply our numbers together. And we should get 72. Once we do that, what we want to do now is we want to get rid of that squared. The way we get rid of that squared is by using this square root. No, if it'll write in. Okay? The square root, you can get it on your phone if you're using your phone. If you turn it sideways, you get that extended calculator. You can look up a calculator on Google, and that'll also give it to you. So there's a few different ways. If you have a smart calculator that you can use that as well. So if you're using your phone, my phone, I hit the square root button first, and then I just type in 72. I believe for most of the Apex questions, it's either 1 or 2 decimal places. It depends. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll just do 1 decimal place. And that would give me 8.48, so we're going to round that up to 8.5. Okay? So that's how you would do 1 and 2. You're setting up these relationships, you're cross-multiplying, and you're solving. All of these triangles are similar, so you want to try to break them into their corresponding pieces. So go ahead, if you want to, pause the video, try number 2. It's a similar type of problem. In this situation, it is again a similar problem, but this time the 2 triangles we have are just there. We're going to focus on both the small one and the big one. So if I look here, I have my first side, this blue side. My x is my larger of the 2, and my 14 is my smaller. So I'm going to keep that whole ratio as small and large, and I'll have 14 over x. Okay, and then this time I can't just use this other side. There's nothing else over here with the 20. It's alone. This time my second triangle is the whole big thing. So make sure you're realizing there's basically 3 triangles you can pull from to make these relationships. Okay? Once I do that, my x will be my smaller side, so you can put x up top. And my bottom is both of these 2, right? They're being combined together. That gives me the total bottom. So I'd have 14 plus 20, which is 34. And now you should have a problem that you can cross multiply and solve that out, just like we did before. Number 4 is a similar type of setup, so you can go ahead and try that problem. Solve 3 the rest of the way out, cross multiply, use your square root button, and then try number 4. Number 5, once again, we're dealing with a similar type of situation here. You'll have the smaller triangle in there, so we can set up small and large, h over 13. And then if we come in this time, oh, okay, so this time there's just going to be a small math involved. I don't have anything else for the big one, so I'm going to have to use my other small one. So you may be asking yourself, well, how do I get this other side? Well, I'm going to do 22 minus 13, which will equal 9. Okay? So this side's 9. This is my larger, smaller of the two sides, sorry. And h now is my larger. So you should always have the h's being on opposite top and bottom. And you'd cross multiply and solve that out. While working with these ones, when you get to 7 and 8, they may be slightly more complicated. There's just a little more algebra involved. So, again, I always like to think about small and large together when you're setting this up. This is a small side, large side. Then you go to the other triangle, large side, small side, and we can set that up. So we have 25 minus 2x over 24 for my first side, and small on top, so x over 8 on the other side. We're going to cross multiply here, and this will just end up with a bit more algebra for us to have to solve through. 24x equal to, cross multiply, 8 times 25 minus 2x. This is where your algebra skills need to come in. They don't go away when you get into geometry, I'm sorry. We're going to have to distribute our 8. Okay, number 8 here will also have this distribution happening. So distributing, I still have this 24x on this side. 8 times 25, I believe, is 200, minus 16x. Now we have a two-step equation. I always hate when I have a negative x. In order to get rid of a negative x, I do the opposite action. So I'm going to add 16x to both sides. That will leave me with these canceling, 200 over here, and 40x. Now I'm going to simply divide by 40. Zeros cancel. 20 divided by 4. I should get an answer of 5. Okay. B is a very similar type of, 8 with this B, C, E, A, D setup is a very similar type of problem. So go ahead, try to set that one up and solve it using what you have here as a guide. Then the last couple, we got some word problems. I know they're nobody's favorite, but we can do them. Take your time when doing a word problem and just try to think it through as best you can. Okay? Emma's playing some miniature golf. And these do have some multiple choice. You know Apex by now is mostly multiple choice, so hopefully that helps you out a bit. Emma's playing miniature golf. Okay? So we have a wall, and her ball is 2 feet to the left of a right-hand wall. So we have a wall, and our ball is 2 feet to the left of that wall. So 2 feet. Okay? This is where the ball is. The hole is 4 feet to the left of the wall. Okay. So scooting over, this is where the hole is, and this whole thing is 4 feet. Okay? So from the hole to the wall is 4 feet. The distance along the wall, the hole is 4 feet from the left of the wall. The distance along the wall between her ball and the hole is 18 feet. The distance along the wall between her ball and the hole is 18 feet. There's an obstacle between her ball and the hole, so something's here. Okay? It's being blocked. There's an obstacle. Emma's supposed to hit her ball off of the wall. Okay, so the distance on the wall, this whole wall, is 18 feet is what we're being told. there's an obstacle, I can't go straight to the hole, so I have to figure out where to hit the ball along the wall so it bounces into the hole. So this is my X. So if we're setting that up, we now have a small triangle, and then if I connect this, we have our bigger one. So our small triangle, well, we can start here. The bigger triangle, my small side is the 4, and my 18 is my larger side. So I have 4 over 18 equal to, my 2 is my smaller side, my X will be my larger side, or X. And we're going to cross multiply. 4 times X is 4X. 2 times 18 is 36. One-step equation, divide by 4. So X is equal to none. And that is an answer choice. So these problems, they're word problems. Try number 10. They are a bit more challenging. You'll probably have some in your Apex quiz, but just try to talk yourself through it. This isn't a problem to rush. Draw your picture and see how you do. Alright, I hope this helps. Have a good evening.